up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yeah, set your affirmations.
March is where we level up. Tuesdays and Thursdays, live at 5 p.m. Pacific. Ash Knows Travel. Get ready to log in and change the travel industry. Welcome to Ash Knows Travel. The future of travel has arrived. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is all about how to market groups. We're going to talk about how to position them, how to talk about them, and how to create excitement that actually leads to signups. Groups can completely change your income when they're marketed the right way. So tonight we're going to do a breakdown of the strategy behind getting people interested, committed, and already just ready to travel all together. So if you're live here, go ahead and drop a quick hello in the chat so that I know that you are here. And if you happen to be watching this on a replay, go ahead and comment replay so that I know that you stopped by. So let's go ahead and get started. Yes, I'm pretty excited about tonight's training. I love doing groups, and I even have a gift for you guys that you need. If you're going to be marketing groups, you need this gift, so I have that. And I also have examples to show you. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get started, shall we? Now, how to market groups. We're going to talk about before, during, and after the booking. I'm going to talk about simple systems, clear communication, and just strong leadership that you guys need in order to successfully run a group when it comes to bookings. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Groups don't fill themselves. I feel like this is probably one of the hardest parts about booking groups is getting it filled. Can we all agree with that? Yes? Okay. Posting once is not marketing. We should already know that. But groups fill easily because they stay visible, they stay consistent, and they stay confident. Okay. People need to see it more than once, and that's normal. But when it comes to seeing it, there's also different ways that they can see it and different flyers and different options, and we're going to cover that. Okay. But the most important thing that I want you guys to understand is that when it comes to these groups, it's not something that you could just talk about one time. It's something that you have to carry throughout. And we're also going to talk about timelines too. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about this example, but let's go to the next slide first. All right. When you guys are first setting up your groups, the first thing that we normally do is go in there and reserve it. Yes? Can we all agree with that? Okay. We go in there and we reserve the group. Now, that's a completely different training. Okay. I have how to do groups. If you guys want that training, let me know. I will put it in the chat for you guys. But that is completely different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you guys have already reserved it, and now we need to start marketing. Okay. The first thing that I always do after I put a group together is I make a flyer. I go in there and I screenshot every detail of the group and I put it into ChatGPT and I have it make a flyer. Okay. Now, with this in the flyers, I share full pricing, I share deposit amount, and I share deadlines, and I also share what's included. So on the right, I have my first example. Okay. And we'll go up to the other example I have. But this is the group I'm actually running right now for Virgin Voyages. And I like running groups in them because it's just a circle. I make the group, they go and book it on their own through the circle, and then it adds to my group. So I love that. Okay. Now, here it is, the details, round trip, 5 nights, where it's going, the type of rooms that are available at Sea Terrace and Central Sea Terrace. That's what they look like. Here's the cabin types, $1,400 per person. Deposit is only $237 per person based on double occupancy, and then they can book direct via link in the bio, or they can book now. And then we have all inclusives include $50 onboard credit, all dining, beach club, Wi-Fi, Scarlet Night Party, because that's what it's about. So you guys could see that what's included, right? Now, as I add more people, once I get 8 people, right, I have a group rate that's so I can disperse that free cabin between them and I can fix the flyers as I go. But this is initially a great flyer to have when you first set up the groups, okay? Now, I also do groups when it comes to all-inclusive resorts. And the one I'm doing right now is a couples takeover for Temptations Cancun Resort. It's adults only. Now, this group is going to work a little bit differently than group cruises, okay? Technically, you would go inside Vax and do like a group quote request and stuff like that, okay? I don't have this feature with Temptations. So the power of the group here for me is, since I'm adults only, is that when they do this couples takeover, I match them with other couples so they're not by themselves. That's kind of the advantage here, okay? But typically it would have different things included in the amenities part for the groups, regardless if you're doing it, like in Vax, or if you're doing it and, Cruising Power, or wherever you're going, it has amenities. So make sure you include them, all right? But let's take a look at this flyer. So this is not going to really have any amenities inside of it. And I made a way prettier flyer later, but you guys get the idea, okay? Couples takeover for Temptation. It's actually a party that they have. It's a takeover party where they have their own tower. So they have to have the tower section, and that's what makes it exclusive, because people have a real hard time booking it, and that's what I'm here for, right? So only guests booked in the towers will participate in the events. Required room types, the deposit only. This is per couple because it's a couples trip. Total package price, tower couples category. Okay, you guys can see. Visit link in bio or selling out soon. They can actually, with Temptations, they can book. So I actually have the link in bio for them to be able to book it directly too. But in general, this is another example of a flyer. Yes. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, when you first start, you get your group, all right? Then I want you guys to create a flyer. That flyer, it needs to have all the information on it, whether you're doing a cruise or whether you're doing a resort. You guys now see how I do it. Yes. Then I want you to be very descriptive on there. Do not be vague. Clear always converts better. So have the exact details. I'm going to tell you, I made a mistake on my Scarlett's Night to Sea group right here. When I did that group, guys, I originally forgot the dates. I don't know how, but I originally forgot the dates. And when I forgot the dates, I was like, oh my God, now I have to redo the flyer, okay? I still had somebody book it, surprisingly, but there's just certain things that have to be in that flyer, and that's why I make sure I point that out, okay? So we've launched clearly now. We know exactly what we're marketing. We know exactly what group we're talking about, when they're leaving, etc. We have all of that set in place. Now we need to take it somewhere. All right. When you guys start posting, a lot of you will make one post. I honestly don't care what platform you're on. It works really well on Facebook and TikTok. Whatever platforms you choose is fine. But the most common issue that you guys have when you guys are posting about it is you just stop. And like, I can find myself sometimes I stop too. But every day I try to share my flyer at least once. Either I share it on Facebook, I share it on TikTok. I'll put it in the story sections a lot, because the people that are booking groups are people that typically already follow you and they're used to seeing you. So the most places that we can hit them at is in my story. I feel like they view my story way more when they're following me and they're interested. They know I post deals in there, so they're going to go there. You can still make posts about it. Even when I do my carousels on TikTok, I slide it in there. I'll slide the one of the groups in there and just like throw it. Like, I don't say anything about it. I just slide it in one of the slides when I do my carousels. That's how I do it, okay? But what I'm trying to get to is like, you have to start talking about it, and then you have to keep talking about it, okay? Most new agents, when they first do their first group, they automatically just stop posting, and that's obviously not going to work, right? So here's some ideas that you guys can do to kind of keep talking about it. Repost it with a new caption, right? Answer common questions publicly. Remind them about deadlines, especially if it's selling out, or if you had somebody book. Celebrate when someone books. If you have somebody book, okay, then just go in there and say, hey, this booked. I got 5 rooms left. This is the deposit. Come help me close this out. Like, who else wants to go? I have 5 rooms left. It's selling out. Let's go. That is what kind of builds into the group. Whatever you have set up for that group, it needs to be consistently built. It's not something that you could just post one time and say, all right, guys, everybody fill the group. It doesn't work like that, because it's not like a normal booking. A normal booking is, here's a trip, book it. No, here's one trip that I want multiple people to go on. So we have to talk about it multiple times. Yes, with talking about it. After you get your first booking, okay, that's the before part. Now we're in the middle. After you get your first booking, I'm going to tell you another tip here, okay? once the deposits are starting, you're having your stuff, everything's going, okay? How to market groups 101. Create a private group. I'm telling you, write that down. It's some tea, okay? And if you can, since we're planning groups, we plan them out fairly enough. Everybody knows that when you go on a cruise, what do they make? A Facebook group. Yes? Make it before they do. Absolutely. You can fill it a lot faster and you can add people in from that group because they want the group rate, and you can market your flyer in there and talk about it because it's your group. Yes. Okay. You see where I'm going with this? All right. So we make the flyer, we drop it, we start talking about it, we get our first deposit. Now we need to set up a group. Open a group on Facebook. Every time somebody books, welcome them in, let them introduce themselves, post reminders, post updates. You can go in there and do all of our little follow-up emails. We could put that in there. Things to pack while on your cruise. What should you think, bring on this day, or what are we doing on this day of the cruise? There's so many different things that you could bring into that, right? Then in there too, constantly share the flyer. Hey guys, we have 4 rooms left on here. If you want anybody to go with you, make sure you share it with your friends and family so they can come with us, right? Like post reminders, post updates. And that's your own private group that you could start and you control it. If you wait till somebody else creates that group, guys, you don't have that type of ownership. So make sure you keep that in mind, okay? But what does this do? Since it's a group booking, they want to feel like something, special. They want to feel like they're a part of a group, okay? So when it comes to group bookings, we can't just stop at, here's the group, like you booked it, great, there's the group rate. Like that's one of the most common mistakes that new advisors make. It has to be something that's kind of continuous. It needs to be exclusive. It needs to be like secretive. They're a part of a group, right? So I do a private group so I can kind of bring them in and they can kind of get to know each other and see what they're talking about before they even met. And they could be like, oh yeah, that was Kelly from the group. I remember her. Like that's what you want to have. So you have that exclusive of the group. And what really is great, someone who's booked groups before and as a group book groups after they start doing that for so long, you guys have the ability to bring them back on the same group cruises. Like that's where it kind of leads to, okay? Like once they start going back and forth and they start chatting, they start meeting each other on the groups, okay, great, right? But what you want them to do basically is to book again. So we want them to basically just have that, kind of exclusive feel to it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So with that, okay, now continuing, we've got the group chat going, we've got the flyers going, we're talking about the group. All right, now next step, after the deposit. All right, now we have our first couple of cruises booked. This is how I'm setting this up because I want you guys to understand that it comes to more than just marketing right when you first get your first booking. No, there's more to that. Okay. Now, when we get our first set of deposits in there, we still want to market with them, okay? So after you get your first deposits, I'm going to talk more about this one on Friday. I'm talking about how to market affiliate links, but you want to guide them and you want to also kind of keep them in the loop of the group. So you can also offer them travel insurance, you can offer them transfers, you could do group excursions, you could do room upgrades, whatever it is. I just want you guys to already see that you can go a little bit further even after the booking, okay? Now, when it comes to marketing, this is something that you can kind of do after the marketing starts. But I want you guys to understand, you can also include this in your marketing too, okay? If I'm in the middle of a group and I have half the group set up, we booked an excursion for something that we're going to do, that becomes a part of my marketing strategy. If I have half the group put up and they all booked travel insurance, I'm going to add it to my marketing strategy. So when I make a new flyer or if I make a new post, including in this group, we're going on this excursion. We already have people going. This is all of us together. We have 4 rooms booked. We have 3 rooms left. All of us are going here, here, and here. We all have travel insurance. Like that's what I want you guys to do with it, okay? Always update that marketing strategy and continuously still market it. But as you're adding in people, kind of take it to where you can add in, all right, I've already done this with the group, or, like when you get your first 8 cabins booked, right? Then you get your free cabin. Once you get that free cabin, they normally disperse it between the group. And now, hey, that's a new rate. The group rate is lower now because we got 8 people. Let's fill out 8 more people offering the new group rate, right? That's what I'm getting to, okay? marketing doesn't stop just because you got the first couple of deposits. We still have to fill more rooms, right? And once we get those first 8 filled, we normally feel accomplished. But I like to try and get it more because you have a better chance of offering them a group once you start getting the perks inside of there. And I'll cover some of the perks, but a lot of the perks depend on how many people you fill inside of that group. Okay. Now, continuing after the trip, this is part 2. Now, I know I'm going kind of fast with this because it's kind of just really posting about the flyers. Okay. But what I want you guys to understand is that there's just so many possibilities when it comes to group. And even after the trip, that's not the time to disappear. After the trip is when you need to say, we're doing this again. A lot of the times, I'm going to tell you guys, I market 2 groups a year. So when one group ends, I'm already starting on my next group. And that's what I put this in here. I market before, I market during, and I market after. So I'm marketing after by putting in what? The next group. Now, how do I market the next group? I post photos, I post reviews, and I post thank you messages and say, hey, we're doing this again. We just had a blast, and now it's time to plan our next one. Boom. That's how I'm building momentum. Okay. So groups can be something that's very lucrative as long as you are consistently enough posting it, and you have to post it before, during, and after it. All right. Now, continuing. Understanding your group type. This is going to affect how you market. Different groups need different energy, okay? If it's a promotional group, that means it's an open invite to anybody. That kind of open promotional group matter, that hype has to be very strong because you don't have a basis to base it off of. Like, how can I explain this? If I do like a community one or a family one, they already know each other, right? They know each other. They know who to talk to. They're doing the marketing for me. I'm going to kind of get in there, but in general, they do most of it, right? If I'm doing a promotional, I have to hit all different types of people. I don't have a set basis. I don't have a set group to market to. I need to focus on this, this, and this, okay? So depending on how you do your group type is going to really depend on what type of energy you bring for the marketing. And I don't think a lot of us understand that when we first start marketing groups, because I feel like we're just like out there like trying to fill the room, try to fill the room, try to fill the room. But we have to understand who we're trying to fill the room with, right? And it really kind of just depends on how you set it up. If you guys set it up as promotional, then you can market it to anybody. If you set it up as a family or group, when you guys are doing the bookings, you guys can only market to certain people. Now, why does this matter? I'm going to tell you why. Promotional, they don't really ever see each other unless you put them together. If you put them together, then they will see each other. If you add them to a group, they will see each other. But a promotional is really, they're just getting the perks in the group rate. The community one and the family and private ones, these are depending on the vendors. That's how they list them. But family and private groups, these right here, they automatically come with people booked into them, right? And these are going to be closed, and these people are going to know each other. These are going to sit together. They're going to know each other. They're going to probably be under the same booking ID kind of deal. This is different from promotional groups, okay? And that's why I want to bring that out to you, because I do promotional groups. I don't do community and family groups. I feel like family and community groups are more if you're very niche down, like if you only do church, I guess that's weird. Religious travel, not church travel. Religious travel would be just for that community, right? Like a family reunion, that's just for that. But you guys can't promote that as effectively unless you are going on it. If you were going on that trip, then you could absolutely promote it effectively because you're going to put them together, right? But that's not going to be the same if you're doing a promotional. Like my Scarlet's Night at Sea, that's a promotional group that they're not going to know each other unless I put them together. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You have to understand that in order to market them, you have to be able to break them down so that you can market them effectively, because that's going to affect it how you market it as well. If I'm doing a promotional, then I'm going to put it on TikTok, I'm going to put it on Facebook, I'm going to open it to everybody. But if I'm doing a community, I'm going to make sure I hit my core groups of my community and of the family, etc., if that's where I'm going. Okay, do you guys understand where I'm going with that? Let me know in the chat. I just want you to understand when it comes to marketing the group types, it really just depends on how you're talking and who you're talking to. All right. Now, the next one, use group perks thoughtfully. Perks are just not extras. I feel like a lot of us miss out when it comes to the groups. Now, I think it's missing one of my slides. Yes, it is. It's okay. I got this. I want to talk about something else that's inside of this. Hold on one second. Because another thing that I want to talk about is going to be in here, but I think it cut it out because I was going too fast. The new thing about the slide thing that I use, guys, it only lets me do 10 slides. That's so stupid, and I hate that. But I was making way better slides in this. So hold on one second. I'm going to find it. Here it is. Look, this is great. Groups, yep. Okay. I'm going to share this instead. All right. So this is part of it. I don't know why it cut this part out, but I want you guys to understand a few things when it comes to the actual planning part of it. And it shouldn't have cut that out, but it did. So we're going to talk about it anyways, okay? So first of all, here's all the breakdown of the group strategies. That's why I cut it out, because it's way too much. There's promotional groups, open to anyone. Example, girls trips. Community-based, this is built from your audience. So like an annual cruise or a niche-based cruise, that's what that is, right? Family or private groups, reunion trips, church trips. There we go. Okay. Now, the group type matters because if you market a family group like a public takeover, it won't resonate, right? But where I want you guys to understand is right here. Group perks, okay? What are group perks? First of all, a lot of times when you guys get so many cabins, you get free berth credits. As well, you guys also get amenity points, onboard credit, and then that is basically for cruises, okay? When it comes to the rooms, you guys will start getting, after so many people book so many rooms, you guys start getting the group rate added to it. Along with that, if it's a group rate, a lot of the times where resorts will do certain perks for booking groups. You have to read it, okay? But they can get extra amenities for booking so many rooms. Like, I'm going to give you an example. If you go directly and book with Dreams or Secrets, they have group rates and they have group perks for their groups. So take a look into those, okay? But make sure you guys are learning about these group perks, because this is what gives you leverage in order to push it, okay? Now, along with that, let me go up a little bit more because I want to talk about, I don't know why it cut all of this off. It was making me mad. Okay, where are we at? No, not booking momentum. It gives you like a whole thing. That's why I was like, ChatGPT, we're not doing this, okay? All right, here we go. This is what I want right here, this little timeline. Thank you. Look, you see how broke down it is compared to what it gave me? Okay, here we go. 3-phase group timeline. Let's get into this one. So first of all, Facebook group strategy. Should you create a Facebook group? Yes. If you plan on building a community, sharing update, or increasing the excitement, build one, okay? Here's when to create it. You guys can't create a Facebook group until after the bookings are confirmed. Do not create one before. It will just sit there. It gets weird. Make it separately, make it private, exclusive. Do it after you get your first couple of bookings, okay? Here's some ideas for you guys what to post in the group. Welcome message, payment reminders of like when the final payment's due, not of someone personally. Excursion options, packing lists, etc. Roommate threads, things like this, okay? Then you can invite them before the deposit, invite people to a wait list. That's not the Facebook group, but once they're confirmed, you put them in the group. That's cool. And then 4 to 6 weeks, we test it. Okay, I don't care about any of that. No, this is where I want to start, right here. All right. Now, along with this, okay, don't launch random groups. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things that people do. Like, and I wanted to put that in there. You guys have a tendency to just one day just decide to do random groups, okay? You have to make sure, first of all, that your niche is set up far enough to develop a group. Secondly, you need to make sure you have a good audience to build that group off of, or you're going to be running around trying to grab people to do groups in. And nobody wants to do that, right? And that's what they do. They post too soon, they don't create urgency, they don't build a community, and they announce it too late. And then they'll come to me and they'll be like, well, groups don't work. No, it does work, but you guys are just sitting there and you're just throwing it out there. You're not really building into it. You're not talking about it, right? Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk about real quick. And it's right here, okay? I know this is not my typical training, right? But those slides, they killed me. I don't like those slides, okay? But this is what also I want to cover here, okay? Now, this is for cruises, but this is just standard Mexico in general. This is what I want you guys to understand. When I tell you guys, when you're launching groups, a lot of you guys make a mistake of doing it too short, Okay, so I want to put this in here so you guys know what I'm talking about. When you guys are launching the marketing of the groups, make sure that you have at least 9 to 12 months. That's ideal. If you don't want to wait that long and you want to start planning it way sooner, that's fine. 6 to 8 months minimum. I do 6 months, but I've been doing quite a bit of groups. I used to do weddings a lot more, and those were groups too, so I just got in the habit of doing them. But I like to have a good timeline, and there's a reason for that. Sometimes you get distracted and life happens and you forget to market your group. So you want to have enough time to meet that deadline so you guys get the perks, okay? I like to give myself at least 6 months because that way I have plenty of time to collect deposits to close the group, okay? If you announce it too late, like 4 months out, you create a lot of pressure. There's way fewer payment options, and the groups will be a lot smaller. Okay. Now that's all I want to share in there because that was aggravating. I was like, where did all the information go? It just took it all out of my slides. So that was cool. But anyways, make sure you guys are using groups, okay? Especially the perks, the thoughts, etc. All right. Make sure that they add value in those perks, that make them feel special, like they're a part of the group, and it helps your group stand out because you'll be able to offer something that they don't normally have on a regular booking, right? Now, along with that, last couple of things, and I know this slide's a little weird, and that's okay. I don't mind. But I want you guys to understand that I have a group tracker for you. That was one of my gifts I have for you guys. And inside that group tracker is how I do everything, okay? So let's go over there and take a look at that. And if you want the group tracker, comment groups, and I'll post it in the chat for you, okay? But this is what it looks like. So this is my ultimate group cruise tracker that I use. I put all of the details in there. I have to have this because I will come in here and I will do like this and I'll screenshot it and I'll take it over to ChatGPT and say, make me another flyer, fix this, make me another flyer, etc. Okay. So this is an example right here. Group ID, you need that. What type of group is it? The credits, 1 credit for every 8 cabins, however it works. Okay. Along with that, we have the cabin tracker. Okay, so every time I book a cabin, I have the information in there. I have the payment tracker so I can keep up with who paid. Documents and deadlines, we have to have the group tracking, contract submitted, final manifest, that happens right before. It's like normally 90 days before. You'll see it, you'll get an email about it. Insurance waivers, if they decide not to do insurance, rooming lists, and amenity points request. Sometimes with groups, this is particularly for cruises, but sometimes with the land ones too. It's very rare, but you have to go in there and request the amenity points after you fill the group. So that happens too. If it happens, that's why I put it in there. Okay. Marketing and leads. I didn't leave you guys out. We're talking about how to market groups. I got you there too. I have it written down. Every time I market it, I put it in there so I remind myself how many I booked it. If it works well, I put it in there. If I have the link for it, I put it in there so I can copy paste it. And if they booked it, I put it in there too. Okay. And then lastly, the summary dashboard. So you guys can see how many, all of it. Yeah. You guys like that? I like it. All right. So go ahead and comment groups and I will share that in the chat for you. Give me 1 second. Yes. All right. 1 moment. All right, perfect. So you guys have that now, yes? All right, now with that, what I want you guys to understand is marketing groups is really, really easy. Can you tell? It's a very quick training. You don't have to be too detailed about it. You just have to be consistent. That is the hardest part about marketing groups. But once you guys launch, you got your flyers set up, that's what you need. You don't have to do anything extra to market those groups. You can make videos about it and everything, but rely back to that flyer because it has all the details in it. And it's way better to send out a flyer for marketing than it is for, okay, let me tell you about this group cruise. All right, here we go, right? Like nobody wants to do that. So launch it clearly, make sure that you stay visible. Once you start getting bookings, build your community, communicate clearly in there and update your marketing as you're adding more people. And then once it's booked, we build, repeat, right? You don't have to overcomplicate this. You just need to lead it, okay? So that is all I really have for you guys for when it comes to marketing groups. It's not too hard of a deal. I just feel like you guys see it and you think it's very complicated, but it's not, okay? Now, this training is going to pair very well with my how to actually book groups training. So if you need that, comment it now. I'll go get it from YouTube and I'll put it in there for you too. And then also, if you guys have questions about this, okay, of course, put them in the chats for me. But guess what? On Thursday, I am doing a live travel Q&A. So any questions that you guys have for any of my trainings that I've done, anything in general that you guys need help with, please feel free to join me on Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, where I'm going to basically break it all down for you. Yeah. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. If you have questions, go ahead and meet me in the chat box. If not, I will see you guys on Thursday, where I'm going to be doing live travel Q&A. And then for Evolution and Archer on Friday on Corporate Zoom, I'm going to talk about how to market affiliate links. All right. So I'm going to head over to my chat box now. If you need anything like the links or anything, go ahead and comment them. If you have questions, let me know and I will see you there. Yes. All right.
Aspirations, I got
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. Afloat, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.